you to think about what your responsibilities are as a society leader. So on the Guild website, so first off, we'll talk about society lead or president, club captain, chair. We have a page called Guides to Running a Great Society, and that's under the Society's Resource Hub. It's one of their tabs in the drop-down list, and there are 2 documents there. The first is How to be a Great Society Captain or Chair, and the second is How to be a Great Treasurer. So they're there for you to access, have a read through, make sure you're aware of kind of what your responsibilities are. We're briefly going to go through them today. And then I can answer any questions that might arise. If there's any part of the guest like job description that you weren't aware of, this will be a good opportunity for you to ask. Can everyone see that? I'm assuming you can.
Yeah.
Okay, fab. Thanks, Alice.
Yeah.
So this kind of pink box on the first page are kind of the key or core responsibilities for a society leader. So the first is to oversee the running of the society as the head of the committee. So lots of you will have other committee members, but as a society lead, it's your responsibility to literally lead those other students and committee members, and that will include potentially delegating duties or responsibilities or overseeing projects. So for example, if you decide I don't know, you want to run a fundraiser in December, you might have a social sec or an activities rep that was leading on like the logistics of getting that up and running, but as a society leader you're ultimately responsible, and so you would be spending some of your time in just making sure you had oversight over that. You're also responsible for setting the direction, aims and objectives of the society after consultation with your committee. That for a lot of you will take on the form of the development plan. So over the past few weeks you'll have been spending some time hopefully with your committees thinking about exactly what it is that you want to achieve this year, and writing that up in a plan and coming back to the Guild with what that plan is. You'll also be the first point of contact for the Guild. So while we will communicate with other committee members if you need us to, if there's any information you need us to pass on, or I don't know, we have some training that might be relevant for other members, we might communicate that in the WhatsApp group, for example. As society leads and as treasurers, which we'll go on to in a minute, you'll be the people that we contact. And so as a society leader, it's also your responsibility to make sure you're disseminating that information. So if there's a training session that all of your committee has to attend, we'll make sure to contact you with that information, but you'll just need to make sure that you're passing that on. And that's just to make sure that there's kind of a clear line of communication, that we know that we can communicate with your society via yourself, and that you know that you can come directly to me, and you know there's no confusion over who does what. You'll also support your treasurers in researching and writing your annual budget. Lots of you will be in the process of planning this at the minute, and obviously we'll help you however you need it, but it would be great if you could all give your treasurers a bit of a hand in getting that up and running, which is due on the 31st of August. Attend relevant society meetings. It does what it says on the tin. A lot of you might organise regular meetings. I know Business Society, for example, have a meeting, I think it's every Friday morning, and that seems to have worked really well over the past year for them, in being able to have kind of a dedicated slot of time to meet up as a committee. And there's one I just missed, which is attend the Guild's AGM. The AGM is the annual general meeting that the Guild has to have because we're a charity and it's part of our governance, and that'll be to things like approve the annual plan of what we've done over the past year, some links to the trustee board. I won't go into too much detail, but all society leaders at least are expected to attend that meeting. Attend monthly society forums. So society forums we've talked a little bit about in each of these training sessions, but that'll be the space that you'll make decisions on budget and potential development funds, campaigns that you might want to run as a collective. And so Societies Forum will be given a pot of money, and each society will have a representative that sits on that forum, and you'll decide how much each society gets. So if we had a chess society, for example, and they wanted £10,000 for some gold-plated chessboard, they would bring that to Societies Forum, and collectively you would decide whether you wanted to spend that money on them or not. You'll also act as a financial signatory, which basically means anytime funding goes through the system, you will be able to sign it off with your treasurer. So you might input, we need to pay for an invoice, and you'll sign to say, yeah, we've spent this money, this is how much money we need back. And then your treasurer will also sign it, just to give that extra level of accountability that I was talking about earlier. And then you'll also act as a society representative externally. And that, I guess, when I say that, I mean external to the guild. So to the university, for example, I know Ben, we've been talking about a connection within UCB that's interested in rugby. So as a society leader, you would make those connections within the university. But for a lot of you that want to work externally, you'll also be kind of the face of your society. So they're kind of your key responsibilities, and this document outlines far more than that. It includes lots of kind of good practice and much more information on each of the things that you're responsible for. So I would definitely recommend having a look over that and just making sure that you're aware of what your responsibilities are.